We are back with another Operation Protect the White Boy entry, and today we will be talking about a man by the name of Anthony Camarda, where this guy has been charged with disarming a police officer and attacking him, as well as attacking a paramedic, and as you can see, he's still breathing. A 29-year-old man is facing charges for allegedly disarming a police officer and attacking the officer and a paramedic in Grace Lake, prosecutor said. Anthony Camarda, age 29 of Grace Lake, was charged with disarming a peace officer, 3 counts of aggravated battery of a peace officer or emergency worker, and 1 count of aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. Lake County Assistant State's Attorney Francis DeRosa said officers responded to on January 5th to Camarda's residence for a domestic incident. A woman called 911 and reported Camarda and had threatened to kill her. Officers found Camarda in the bathroom and the man told the officers to leave. Paramedics responded to the scene for a psychiatric evaluation, but Camarda continued to yell at them. Camarda began swinging closed fists at the fire department personnel and officers, DeRosa said. DeRosa said Camarda struck a police officer in the face and also struck a firefighter paramedic in the face. Both suffered injuries. Now listen to just that alone already. He was already able to get away with just swinging at nothing, and then got away with swinging and actually connecting with not one but 2 people. Now black people would not have to done any of that, not even close to an inkling of that, before the gunshots went off. Again, this is why I'm kicking this series off. I technically unofficially kicked it off a while ago, but now we're making it official because it has to be made, because a lot of people think that there's a so-called war on white people. And like many others have said, that there is a war on white people. It's a civil war, one that's against themselves. Camarda then disarmed a police officer by taking the officer's knife that was in his ballistics vest carrier, DeRosa said. Camarda allegedly began swinging the knife and cut a police officer's hand. Officers tasered Camarda and were eventually able to place him into custody. My thing is this: what the hell took you so long to actually disengage that taser? And what is amazing to me, that they were able to realize and tell the difference between their taser and their gun. Because, leave it up to us, they'll be like, oh, I thought it was my taser. We're like, your taser and your gun feel completely different, and they're 2 completely different colors. And wait, the taser is lighter than the gun. But when it comes to them, they know how to find that taser then. They know the difference then. That officer was transported to a hospital for treatment. A Lake County judge signed an arrest warrant for Camarda in late January. Camarda voluntarily surrendered on the warrant last week, court records show. Lake County Judge Theodore, I'm going to say P because I can't pronounce his last name, is a weird last name, ordered Camarda held on a $200,000 bond. He remains held in the Lake County jail and would need to post $20,000 cash in order to be released. He shouldn't even have a bond, but Operation Protect the White Boy in full effect. A motion of defense hearing is scheduled for Wednesday, and a preliminary hearing is scheduled for March 9th. Again, this guy was able to actually physically assault 2 people, a cop and a paramedic, with his hands, take a weapon from the cop and use it against the cop by cutting his hand. And it took him doing all of that for the cop to finally use his taser. Again, they love to reason with people like this, but when it comes to us, they want to throw out all these conflicting commands. They want to tell us to do one thing when they want us to do another thing, so they could try to throw us off, so they'll have a reason to be even more hostile. But when it comes to people like this flexing their privilege, and you can't tell me they not flexing it, then you get situations such as these. They become more of a threat to them than they are to them. And you wonder why I'm kicking this series off, because these stories need to be told. Point blank, period. Because we know if the roles was reversed, the mainstream media would have done their best to push this out there and to spin a narrative and then push the whole thing of, oh, they should have just complied. They shouldn't have resisted. This guy did everything completely opposite of what mainstream media and their co-colonizing cohorts, especially those here on YouTube, love to talk about when it comes to black people. The finger wagging thing they love to do when it comes to black people. Where is it at for this guy right here? Probably nowhere in existence. And the crazy part about it is this happened January 5th. This happened 2 days before with what happened with Tyree Nichols. Where was his beat down? Where was, they tased him, but, they didn't beat him. And you can clearly see that they didn't. He got the best of them. And they were the ones that was carrying. It's amazing how weak they become when they come face to face with one of them. And so it makes you wonder, who is the boogeyman? Who is the true boogeyman? Apparently, it's people like this Anthony Camarda.